You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Hey folks, it's Mike Ryan, and I need to talk to you about something that I use religiously. Anytime I'm hosting a big dinner party, I want to impress people, and I get food from some of the most iconic, famous places in the country. You know what helps me do that? Goldbelly. This amazing site where I order from all the time, where you can get all these amazing foods from all across our great country. They will ship free to your door, anywhere in the US of A. Goldbelly will ship you Philly cheesesteaks from Jim's or Pat's in Philly. I'm treating my office right now to a cheesesteak party from Pat's, courtesy of Goldbelly. And on top of that, I threw in some original buffalo wings from Anchor Bar in Buffalo. You could get Kansas City's most legendary barbecue from Goldbelly. And if the pizza near you sucks, they will ship you New York-style pizza from John's on Bleecker or Chicago deep dish pizza from Lou Malnati's. I do that all the time, or even New Haven or Detroit-style pizza. If you are truly gluttonous, though, they will ship you Guy Fieri's famous trash can nachos, which I kid you not, are the ultimate game day centerpiece. So if you're looking to host an epic Super Bowl party, or any party for that matter, go to goldbelly.com and get free shipping and 20% off your first order with promo code DAN. That's goldbelly.com, code DAN, for free shipping and 20% off your first order.
Folks, the playoff season is here, and the only thing better than the game day predictions are the foods that come with them. Introducing Tums Fantasy Foodball Pool, brought to you by Tums, America's #1 antacid brand, and DraftKings. Each week leading up to the big game, turn football into foodball by building your best game day plate for a shot at winning a share of $40,000 in cash prizes. Inspired by game day bites and tailgate treats, join the Tums Foodball action during this playoff season's most heartburn-inducing times. Visit DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball between January 6th and February 9th to enter for free and select your game day plate before the start of each playoff round. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball. When you feel the heat of the game, don't let the heartburn keep you on the sidelines. Try Tums Chewy Bites with a tasty outer shell and soft center for fast relief of heartburn, acid indigestion, and upset stomach. Check out Tums Gummy Bites, featuring a soft and easy-to-chew format for fast relief of occasional heartburn, acid indigestion, sour stomach, and upset stomach. Both available at Amazon, Target, and other major retailers nationwide. And for more heartburn relief fun, be sure to follow Tums at Tums Official on Instagram and TikTok.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings.
Why are you listening to this show?
The podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
I wish everybody could hear the motivational speech Domonique just gave Chris Cote.
It wasn't really motivational. It was, "You're awesome, dude." He was just praising me.
Why'd you turn into...
I shouldn't be talking. I haven't been introduced yet. My bad. I'll be quiet. I'll play the background.
I am summoning Domonique Foxworth, not just because we just replayed the video from last summer of David Sampson koala bearing him mid-dap, but also because Chris Cote clearly was waiting for that external validation. You guys talked about sack grabbing in a way that felt honestly inspirational.
I feel like we need a new idiom for that, like a more modern one. Sometimes with my friends, this is a secret that I'm going to tell you guys. Some of my friends, I ask for permission to take us back to the 90s, like in a group chat. Before I say something, I'm like, permission to go back to the 90s. They grant the permission. I text my group chat something that I would not say publicly, but I don't know the words for it right now. And then we return to 2024 or 2025 now. Yeah. But I just realized with Chris, when I talk to him, I've been noticing, like I listen to the show, I've been noticing that Chris feels like he's become a little bit more forceful. And
he's
like
rolling
confident.
His shoulders right now, listening to you compliment him.
Yeah, and so like I came on and I was like, Chris, proud of you, man. It seemed like you grabbed your sack lately, which I realized like that's a bad thing to say because I see Jess in the back row and like I feel the same way about Jess, but I can't tell her. And then it's just like,
Simon can't be brave. They have no balls.
I know, like it's outdated. Like there has to be some better idiom for like asserting yourself.
Intestinal fortitude, sir, is what you're looking for.
How about great job? You're improving.
No, that's generic.
That's not what he means. That's not specific.
Like I appreciate that you have a lot of managerial experience, but I do feel like some of the interpersonal things about management, you just missed the mark, because it's like saying you're doing a great job. Like it does not feel genuine. It's like saying somebody, you look nice, as opposed to, man, I really appreciate the way you've grown in your beard. Like the salt and pepper looks really
We show it through
distinguished
salary,
and
Dominique. We show it through salary, through title.
Yeah.
You
should know.
Show it through sack grabbing.
Go on.
You should know, Dominique. You should know that David tried to high five me when I wasn't trying to high five him.
Let's put that up for Dominique to see if we can.
Yeah, just so Dominique can be brought in, caught up on the show as we do substitute teacher week here. It was look. It's just I'm not trying to high five you. I'm just gesturing in your direction. The other reason I wanted to bring Dominique in, beyond establishing the rules of consensual 90s mode, which I like.
We like to call it the 20 CB on Cinephobe.
The 20 CB.
The 20 CB. Whenever you go back into the 90s or the 80s or earlier than that, you're going back to the 20 CB, as opposed to when we're in the 21st century, ma'am.
But you announce it to your group text when you're doing that, the way Dominique does?
We often will ask. And sometimes it won't be something that's offensive. Sometimes it'll be a saying. And we'll say, or something that happens. Is this 20 CB? And then we get a confirmation from the group text. Yes, this is in fact a 20 CB occurrence.
Dominique, does anyone say no when you ask them to go back?
Of course not. Like, it's
so then
a joke.
Why ask?
Because it's a joke. Man, you like...
All right.
I feel like I start back over with you every time I see you. I start back over with teaching you how to be a goddamn human being. It's like we got to start at square one. I would like you to carry over some of the things that I've taught you in the past. Like last time, we made so much damn progress.
We really did.
People loved you. I loved you. It was like, this is good. And then we get back on here and you're telling me I just throw money at people. That shows them that I like them. That doesn't work. And then you're like, do they decline? No. The point is, it's funny. It's like, hey, can I go back to, like, when someone says something that's like a little bit sensitive, like, can I go back to the 90s? Then you call them a slur that you would have used in the 90s that wouldn't have been considered a slur back then. And then you come back, like, and then we all laugh together. It's why do I have to explain this to you?
So, Dominique, I got some things here that are not quite as offensive that are decidedly 20 CB.
Do we need some fanfare?
Sure, these aren't top 5. These are just 5 examples, but give me some fanfare. Number 5, eat your heart out. Nobody says that anymore. That is a relic of the 20th century.
Our hearts remain uneaten.
Eat your heart out. No one says that anymore. Framing the first dollar a small business makes.
I would still do that if I started a business.
I thought that was like an immigrant thing.
It's a dry cleaner thing. Always a dry cleaner, right?
They just put it up where you can see it. Restaurants do it too.
Do they?
It's in the kitchen.
Describing someone as tall, dark, and handsome.
These are all SpongeBob bits, by the way.
It took me a long time to realize that they weren't talking about black people when they said tall, dark, and handsome. I was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, wait, that guy's not dark. He's just
they aren't?
No.
Jinx, Dominique.
Letting people know that Napoleon always had his hand in his pocket. When I was a
kid, the kids today appreciate that he had it tucked right there.
Cartoons, movies, TV shows. Always, if you mention Napoleon, the first thing you mention was his hand was in his pocket like that. Don't even see. My kids have no idea what that is, right? Like, they know who Napoleon is. They have no idea.
We used to be a proper empire.
And then finally,
we are again now. It seems
we are dicey.
Yeah.
And then finally, hot water bottles.
Why are those 90s?
You don't see it.
We have heating pads now.
Heating pads,
I love
those
my
clay
heating
things
pad.
they put in the microwave, you heat up, the electric ones. No one uses a hot water bottle anymore. Again, now, if you grew up like we did, Looney Tunes, anytime someone was sick, there was a hot water bottle somewhere, right? But these kids don't watch Looney Tunes, so they don't know what hot water bottles are.
Looney Tunes is how I learned most cultural references.
Absolutely.
I had no idea hot water bottles were a thing. Just
another thing that's very 90s. Sometimes people's shorts are a little 90s, and then they update those shorts and they get these new age. Look at those shorts. that material, that is future material. Chris Cote
Fiore
is no longer rocking 90s ass shorts. It's like a decades old callback, David Sampson. Sorry, that wasn't for you, but
No, that's one of the great brands. We got to see if they can send us some clothes for a sponsorship. I'd like to get on that.
Wait, so Chris Cote wears the same shorts as David Sampson?
They are the most comfortable clothes possible. Am I the only one who's...
No, I don't wear their men's shorts, but I have several pairs of leggings.
Do they come with pickpocket protection?
Yep, zippers.
There's zippers, but it's not great because the zippers actually in the flying pants that I have, the zipper is more of a vertical zipper, and it's a little tight to get as much in the pockets. I'm a big pocket guy.
Let me ask this question.
Flying pants?
Aren't the Viore shorts the ones that were in the Dolphins
I
training
have
camp
multiple
video?
colors. Yeah, I had the black Viore shorts for the 2 interview.
Are we still proud of this brand now after someone...
It's not the shorts. That was just on me. Way too much thigh in that picture.
Okay.
Disagree.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Dominique, are you excited to go to New Orleans? Because you're not there, and there's a lot going on there. All of Meadowlark is there. They're having the time of their lives. And when we asked you to be on the show, we thought you were already part of what's going on, and you haven't even left yet.
No, well, it's interesting you say all of Meadowlark is there when I'm looking at like a whole bunch of Meadowlark in the studio there.
The leftover.
Looking at some tall, dark, and handsome is what Dominique's looking at.
Nah, there's only one. The rest of you guys, not quite dark enough.
Give me a couple more days.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It's fun. It's cool. It'll be a good time. New Orleans is good food. I mean, the best thing about the Super Bowl is normally the random occurrences that you can't plan for. And so my co-host of my show, Charlie Kravitz, has been like sending me all these reservations and plans and talking about what parties we're going to go to. And that's just not how you do Super Bowl. That's not how you do Super Bowl. You show up. You talk your way into parties. You bounce around. You bump into old friends and have random celebrity like meetups, and then you talk about it later on the flight back. Like Vegas.
Have you been asked to go on God Bless Football yet with Stu Gatz?
No.
Well, we got to change that. I mean, apparently God Bless Football, the #1 football podcast in America, award-winning, as you know, Dominique.
Guys, get that off the screen.
Hold on. We're back on Chris's shorts.
God, that whole look, Chris.
This is angle. Get this.
It's a really unfair angle.
Lewis is about to get fired.
The drawstring is my favorite part. He just the whole time.
All right, that's it. No more zooming. Cut away.
I think you look great.
And down a little bit more.
Thank you, guys.
Enhance.
That's my worst nightmare.
Dominique, you like the politicking outside of the Super Bowl party? You enjoy that part?
No, I enjoy it now. I didn't used to enjoy it. So like talking your way into a party was a thing that would make me anxious in the past. But now, like, I mean,
what's your greatest talk your way into the party before you had the notoriety of being on massive television platforms? What was your magnum opus of talking your way into something?
I mean, it's lying mostly. Is like
you don't have a specific, because I have a specific example.
Oh, get to it.
Like, you have a specific lie?
Oh, it wasn't like an example of a party that I got into that I shouldn't have got into.
Proceed.
Walked up, and this is at the point where I'm at my pinnacle. Sports Nation is happening. The jump is happening. I'm like, I'm out here, right? And so we go up to the.
I mean, you're still out here, just for the record.
Well, I'm not. No, now I'm mature. I'm wiser. I'm like, Dominique, I just
showed up an hour late for the show today.
I mean, because I stepped off a plane.
Doesn't matter. That's a flex.
So
should have talked your way into an earlier plane.
I wish. So I walk in and I walk up to security and as I'm looking, I said, I know what the deal is, because most of these bouncers, they're all Laker fans. And so I just got to find the one Laker fan who looks at me and asks me why am I hating on the Lakers. So I see my guy. And I'm like, yeah. And he says, why are you always hating on the Lakers? I'm like, oh, come on, man. Da-da-da-da. This is when the Lakers are terrible. So as I'm talking, his manager comes up. His manager is your typical Vegas manager, right? Nightclub manager. Short Italian guy, lots of product in his hair, vest,
Hold
works
on.
out.
I think we have to enter consensual 90s mode before we do that.
Funny CV? And he's got the earpiece, right? The earpiece. And he comes up there, sorry, boss, I can't let you in. I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, and that's all I got to do. I'm like, hey, come on, man. And he's like, I'm sorry, even if I let you in here, see that guy over there? And there's a bald dude at a podium. He said, that guy's my manager. He's not going to let you in. So I'm like, there's nothing we can do. And the guy I'd been talking to, and this is my rule, bouncers, bartenders, you get 15 minutes a show. I'll ask any question. I'll give him show. So I gave that guy 15 minutes of show. He pulls his manager aside and he just points back at me. And the guy unclips the velvet rope, walk in. My buddy's like, what's going on? I just listen. We walk up to the guy at the podium, the manager who would have said no, and he looks up and he says, why are you always hating on the Lakers? I was like, come on, man. I gave him like 5-10 minutes of show. We're in the party. My buddy was like, that was amazing. How did you do that? I'm like, hey,
why don't you try a C note next time?
Oh, no, I'm not gonna. That's the rule, David. I don't pay. I
money.
refuse.
It's just money with this guy. Don't you? I
just don't want to do 15 minutes of show.
Oh, I don't mind doing 15 minutes of show.
It's about the challenge.
For a bouncer or a bartender, I'll give them 15 minutes of show, no problem. It's the other normies that I have a problem with. That's right. You see me in the streets, you say hello, you get a picture, keep it moving.
You won't even give someone 1 minute of show? Unless they can do something for you?
I'll give them a question.
We know Amin's policy. Amin will do pro bono Sports Nation for any bouncer or security guard. But if you're an Uber driver who asks Amin, what do you do? Amin is lying his ass off immediately.
I work for Marriott. Guest experiences. I travel from property to property to make sure that we have consistency across all the brands.
Do you flash your chipped tooth when you do that?
I haven't had to do it since I chipped my tooth.
All right, David.
I'm just asking. It's important.
Can we talk to Domonique? I miss Domonique.
Can I bring Domonique back in? Because Amin said something else, Domonique, that made me glad that you were here and available before you get on your flight to New Orleans, which is that Amin was just in Arizona, and he had witnessed a special sporting milestone.
My child had a flagrant foul, the very first flagrant foul.
Ooh, nice.
Hopefully a long career. And it happened with 5 seconds left in the game, and the other team was just dribbling the ball out.
Oh, gosh. And so you were very proud, I assume.
No, I had to, because, first of all, it was a road game. So I got to demonstrate to the crowd that I don't condone this behavior. And I just said, why? I just kept saying, why? Why? Like Nancy Kerrigan, why? Why?
The guy who used to co-host Sports Nation is despondent right now.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Did you start doing show?
I started doing a show for all the people around me, yeah. But Domonique, do you remember your first unsportsmanlike conduct?
I remember celebrating when my oldest daughter first started getting fouls in basketball, but especially and I don't think we need to go back to the 90s for this, but like being a parent of two girls and a boy, like watching the way girls' sports are played and the way that their refs and coach kind of frustrated me because they're encouraged the boys in such different ways. So I remember like when my oldest daughter was 8 years old and she busted another girl's lip because she was trying to get a rebound. I remember celebrating her and then taking her home to watch Charles Oakley videos because it's like the difference in that age of sports for boys and girls. A lot of times the difference is like just want to like fight and try hard. And it was like, yeah. And they respond to the way everyone else acts. And when there's a foul in the boys' games, it's a lot different when there was a foul in the girls' games. And I just was trying to encourage them to be a little bit more aggressive and feisty. So I did not yell why. I stood up and started clapping like, she all right? All right. She all right? Good. Let's keep playing. You get a little lip bust. And it was probably good for her, too. Like, my daughter's got elbowed in the eye last week. You know what she did? She got up, and she kept balling. And I was very proud of that.
Look, we're down like by a bajillion points. There was 5 seconds ago. It had all the wrong
What did it
optics.
mean? Be a better defense attorney for your kid. Dear
No!
God.
No, man, I can't.
Domonique just gave you a thoughtful way to spin this, and you're like...
I'm doubling down because Domonique, if it was in the middle of a game doing a basketball activity, I would be like, yeah, no problem. This was literally, the kid is dribbling the ball out, and my child just stares and says, F this. Just trucks.
From behind or like head on?
Head on. And the kid was feet above the head on the ground.
Wow. Tom and Jerry style?
I would have done when I played soccer. Sometimes you just gotta like get a little foul out. Just like
and then looked at me and shrugged. Like, what? What'd I do? I said, why? What'd I do? I'm like, what are you doing?
You said it was a road game.
It was a road game.
And all the home crowd knew that you were the parent of this player?
Yeah, because I'd been talking the whole time.
Oh, you're that parent?
I talked to my kid the entire time. I'm terrible.
All right, we got to establish some etiquette, Domonique. What's your sports parent? What are your sports parent commandments when it comes to talking?
Well, I mean, I have unique experience, so like I never say. I coach my son's flag football team, so that's very different. But like through my whole sports parenting career, I just am very quiet and I don't react to anything. Other than just like clap. I don't like cheer for individuals on the team. Like it's just my sports parent rules. I don't begrudge anyone who does that, but generally like,
You ever like turn away?
Probably,
do you give like the aggressive like fist pump, but like you want to be subtle with it? So you're like,
it's normally just a clap. Like, okay. No matter how intense the game is. And my wife is a little bit different, even though she's not an athlete and she's not very much into sports, but she is very much into the kids' sports. And so we've had a couple near altercations where I had to stand up and be like, look, this is not what we're going to do to like some opposing parents. Like, this is not what we're going to do. This is 12-year-old girls soccer. Relax. And then normally people respond accordingly. But yeah, I don't know. That's the worst possible thing is I don't want to be in a situation. And maybe this is just me being like self-conscious is like I assume that people are looking at me. I don't want people to leave and like, man, Domonique was real tough on his kid, or that Foxworth guy was trying to fight the whole opposing fans and yelling at the refs. It's like when you go from watching Patrick Mahomes play, it feels kind of insane for this like guy on his second job reffing a game for me to start yelling at him. Like, get it together. Guy's doing the best he can.
I pray for footage of you guys flipping out at a game. I just want someone to send me a TikTok of you guys.
It won't happen because mine isn't the kind
your jacket off.
It's not the kind that he's describing. I don't talk to the refs. I don't talk to the coaches. I don't talk to other parents. I don't talk to any other kids. I'm just telling my kid, cut now. Now, like,
are you ever undermining like a play that's been drawn up?
No, no, because I know the plays.
Okay,
you know the plays.
I know what you're doing though. You're taking shots by talking to your kid. You're taking shots at the opposing team. Like, come on. You can beat him off the dribble. You can beat him off the dribble.
Oh, I thought Domonique was saying Amin is taking shots literally vicariously, as in like shoot.
Coach, you got to isolate number 9 on defense. We need to isolate number 9. They can't guard anyone.
I don't do that. I don't tell my kid when to shoot. I do say cut and things like that. I do know the plays because when my kid comes home and says, "Hey, we got a new play," I said, we have a whiteboard. I said, draw it up for me. And then you've got to tell me from every position. If you're playing the 2, all right. Now if you're playing the 5, where are you? What are you doing? So it's just things that we do. We watch film together.
Film of what?
All the games. It's high school, so all the games are on film. So like after the game, we come home and we watch film.
Oh, it's high school. I don't know. I thought it was younger for some reason.
I was picturing 10 to 12.
No, yeah.
You.
My kid's a freshman in high school playing varsity.
So there's a big crowd. Wait.
Oh, this changes everything.
Did you guys all catch that?
We were not.
Did we all catch that? Earl Woods over here
Freshman
is revealing what's really happening.
I stand corrected.
Amin is engineering the next grade athlete.
Not really. We're more about grades in my house, but my thing is,
that's what you got to say. That's what you got to say. I mean, well done.
A good immigrant parent.
Yeah. If you're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right too.
Framing dollar bills and talking about grades.
Folks, did you know that sleep is one of the most important parts of recovery? Whether you're a pro athlete or just looking to crush your day, getting the right kind of rest is key. And that's where Sleep Number Smart Beds comes in. Since 2018, Sleep Number has partnered with the NFL to help elite athletes get quality sleep that they need to perform at their best. In fact, 80% of NFL players sleep on Sleep Number Smart Beds. Tough workout? The Sleep Number Smart Bed can be adjusted to suit your needs. Firmer one night, softer the next, giving you the ultimate recovery boost. And let's talk about those sweaty, sleepless nights. The new Climate Cool Smart Bed adjusts up to 15 degrees cooler on either side with scientifically designed cooling programs to keep you comfortable and undisturbed. Sleep Number Smart Beds don't just help you sleep, they learn how you sleep, providing personalized insights to help you get even better rest. It's like having a sleep coach right in your bedroom. Why choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now, save 50% on the new Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
Hey folks, it's Mike Ryan, and I need to talk to you about something that I use religiously. Anytime I'm hosting a big dinner party, I want to impress people, and I get food from some of the most iconic, famous places in the country. You know what helps me do that? Goldbelly. This amazing site where I order from all the time, where you can get all these amazing foods from all across our great country. They will ship free to your door, anywhere in the US of A. Goldbelly will ship you Philly cheesesteaks from Jim's or Pat's in Philly. I'm treating my office right now to a cheesesteak party from Pat's, courtesy of Goldbelly. And on top of that, I threw in some original buffalo wings from Anchor Bar in Buffalo. You could get Kansas City's most legendary barbecue from Goldbelly. And if the pizza near you sucks, they will ship you New York style pizza from John's on Bleecker or Chicago deep dish pizza from Lou Malnati's. I do that all the time, or even New Haven or Detroit style pizza. If you are truly gluttonous though, they will ship you Guy Fieri's famous trash can nachos, which I kid you not are the ultimate game day centerpiece. So if you're looking to host an epic Super Bowl party, or any party for that matter, go to goldbelly.com and get free shipping and 20% off your first order with promo code DAN. That's goldbelly.com, code DAN, for free shipping and 20% off your first order.
You know that sound. It's the sound of money hitting your Venmo account, a friend paying you back, or maybe it's getting cash back from your favorite business when you pay with the Venmo debit card, or it's realizing you can pay with Venmo at checkout at thousands of brands. Now, there are so many more ways to answer the question, what's your Venmo? Download Venmo today. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh cashback terms apply.
Don Batard.
I took my son to the barbershop to get a haircut, and my man gave out some limp dap.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Damn.
Stugats.
I disowned him. I threw him right under the bus. I was like, whose kid is that out here dishing out limp dap?
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugats.
Domonique, there were. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
We all are, man. It's going to be a fun game that we'll enjoy. It'll be a tremendous experience. Watch some commercials and all that stuff. I think Kendrick's going to win the Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar, Super Bowl champion.
I think SZA's going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't know. My money's on Kendrick.
Oh, man. SZA's got a moment going.
Domonique, what hotel are you staying at?
What is happening right now?
Why would you ask that?
Because I thought you had this amazing thing to talk to him about.
It is. It's the Super Bowl.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Is the best you have?
I'd like to know.
We really just want a most down. I don't want to do this. What's happening? We just had a great. We were doing something.
We were dancing.
We're having too much fun. Dan's going to fly back now.
Speaking of flight,
He's
Domonique.
listening, by the way. We all know he's listening.
I know. Dan,
That's why Jeremy wore that color green, just for Dan.
Dan was
That's
worried.
Right.
Dan said that he's happy to take vacation. The audible sound of laughter through the glass that you may be able to catch is Jess's reaction to that premise. I believe that Dan is worried. I believe that Dan should be on vacation. I believe that Dan has
not
nothing
on vacation. You know that, right? He's working.
I mean, he's not working the whole week. The whole point is to give him time, right? He's doing this show with Dan Patrick, which everybody in New Orleans, if you're listening, go watch. It's at Tipitina's, which is an awesome venue. You know, go do that. But after that, Dan should have a weekend to himself. He should be,
painting the town red.
That's right. Another thing people don't say anymore.
Is that a 90s reference?
I don't know. It felt right.
CV.
Domonique, you can be our scout on the ground and let us know how much fun is being had.
Yeah, please.
By Dan?
Yes, that's correct.
No, I think you guys misunderstand what Dan thinks is fun. Dan, what you guys think is fun, not what Dan thinks is fun. Complaining? Oh, he's in his element. Dan is just going to be out there searching for some shit to go wrong so that he can then complain about it when he gets back, and he'll be so happy that he had some shit go wrong.
The only thing I want to see from the Super Bowl content-wise is Charlie doing his Dan impression to Dan.
Oh, yeah. Can we make that happen and send that video to us exclusively, please. For YouTube and the DraftKings Network?
Charlie, my co-host, he flew to New Orleans yesterday, and he was on the flight with Jayden Daniels.
Oh.
What? Oh my God! How excited was he?
Oh, he said that it was Jayden and his mom. He said he walked up to Jayden and said, "You changed my life."
What?
And we know he's probably said this in the nerdiest way possible, right? Can you do a Charlie impression, Domonique?
I can't, actually.
If you can imagine, what the voice I imagine Charlie used is the voice that Charlie uses to impersonate Dan,
Yes,
which is
that's what I was
also the voice that Amin uses to impersonate Adam Silver.
Oh, a little meek voice like that?
That's exactly what Charlie's Dan impression sounds like. You changed my life, Jayden Daniels. Thank you.
My life.
I want to get back to the game. I want to get back to the game of what do you tell the person that you're the biggest possible fan of. Charlie went with "You changed my life." Think about that. We have a video though I want to play.
If success was an indication that he might have earned, all because it feels like Robert Kraft just talking bad about him behind closed doors, like that's shocking to me that no one would be willing, because the owners don't like each other. Like, some of them like each other. I'm shocked that someone didn't just go hire him just to piss off Bob. Somebody hates Bob in there.
Yeah, but that's because they run this business like a monopsony.
Oh, here we go. Now,
It's a cartel. It's a cartel, Domonique.
Oh, I thought you were going to mock. I thought you were going to mock me.
That was you saying,
monopsony.
Dan, it's a monopsony. These owners are, and then Dan goes, no, Domonique, it's a cartel. And Bob Kraft not getting anyone to hire Bill Belichick, that's some gangster.
Oh, my God. That is great.
Oh, the gangster shit part.
Sounds like Mickey Mouse in South Park.
The last time that he did it was one of last week's shows, and we've added a new element to it. It's now the hokey wordplay. That's our new element that we've added to it, is when he does like a double entendre type of situation.
Yes. I know this move. It's the move you do as a writer, and you think you can do it just speaking, and it's a real heat check.
It's very much like a 50-year-old man trying to rap is what it comes off as.
Can you give me an example?
Sure.
The Michael Jordan, the souls of Michael Jordan. Do you know that one, Amin?
No, I don't.
Domonique, you got it.
I don't know if I can get my voice high enough.
Well, just say it, and I'll say it in the high-pitched voice.
Okay. When Dan was in China, he said he was walking at the Great Wall behind the souls of Michael Jordan at the place that took the soul out of Jordan, something like that. That's actually a good example of it. I don't like that one because that's actually really kind of cool. The rest of them
are we now realizing that Dan's kind of a good writer? Is that what's happening right now?
No. We know Dan's a great writer, but the other times he was talking shit to me in text, and I said agreed, and he was like agreed, and then put a space between it and wrote agreed, greedy. I was like, yeah, like nah, bro.
Yeah,
nah, bro. That ain't it, bro. That ain't it.
Plus, I thought Seoul was in South Korea.
Oh,
that's not.
Let's just sit here for a second.
Dan would have kicked Amin out for that, I would assume.
But Stugats!
These gladiator games! Graffitiing the Church of Football, the cathedral!
Oh, man.
I love Dan. I hope Dan's listening to this.
I hope he's not.
Have you guys seen a person that you were an enormous fan of and you wound up saying something like, "You changed my life" to them? Is there a thing? David, who is the person you would most be excited to encounter? And do you have a thing you'd want to say to them?
There was an actor named Alan Alda.
Oh, yeah.
Who's still alive.
MASH.
Who was the Hawkeye in MASH. And there was an episode of MASH called The Joker. And when I spoke to Alan Alda about it, when I met him, I asked him about that episode, and he didn't remember it. And I recall being devastated. How can it be? And now that I've done 1,200 Nothing Personal shows, I absolutely understand that you don't remember things that you do. He remembered lines at the time. He recorded it, and it changed my life. And I said to him the next time I saw him, I don't know if you remember, but we talked about this episode that you did not remember filming, and I thought that you were crazy, and now I realize that you're normal. And the concept of people who pretend that they remember everything they've done, you can't do it.
And then he said, "And you are?"
No, he thank you.
Wait,
That's
so you
very
saw
nice
him a
of you.
second time and brought up something he didn't remember the first time?
Is there anything else you learned from the most popular television show of all time through podcasting?
He does. Wait, explain to me what you mean, because he is a podcaster in his 80s.
What I mean is that you went to the star of the most watched television show of all time at one point and said, "I know what your life is like. I have a podcast."
No, you're absolutely wrong. I'm sorry, I didn't tell it right. I was 20 years old. I hadn't even started law school. I hadn't even finished college.
No, you talk about the second meeting where you say,
I was 23 years old.
Are you stalking Alan Alda? What is happening here?
I just happen to know him, and you can play it a bit, whatever. He's Alan Alda. It's not even worth it.
We're not gonna play it.
He's got Parkinson's. He is in his 80s, and he does this really cool podcast.
I feel like we should play it now because I feel bad.
You should feel bad. Alan Alda is my acting hero, and personally, he is an amazing person. He's an amazing person. He commuted back and forth from New York to L.A. to film MASH because he wouldn't move his family to L.A. for that 11 years.
What?
I can't believe we're doing MASH talk and it's not on a Greg Cote Tuesday.
It's happening.
That's so unexpected.
Everything David says and this episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by Venmo.
Yeah.
I wish I was down there now. I mean, I wanted to be down there before, but I never wished I was down there more than I did the last 4 or 5 minutes or so. Like, I mean, I think you guys are all tremendous. I will have one piece of criticism for the man in the middle chair.
Yeah, I felt Dominique.
Pablo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you, like, at the next break, I'm gonna need you to grab this show by the throat. The next segment, you need to have a real legitimate hardcore football or sports topic ready at some point. And you throw it in there, and then you spin off of the hardcore football topic into silliness, and then you bring it back to the hardcore sports topic. It just feels like we out here willy-nilly right now, and I don't like willy or nilly.
Another thing people don't really say anymore is willy-nilly, by the way. Let's keep a running list.
Willy-nilly's making a comeback. He's making a comeback.
I think you're being willy-nilly.
Nilly-willy.
Willy-nilly.
Who's going to win the game?
I see what you mean now, Dominique. I see what you mean now.
That's the best we got.
No, here's the bad news. Here's the bad news for the steering wheel in front of me. It has the word, there are vultures circling the Elser written on it. And that's what I was going to lead with the next time we came back from break.
Nope. Throw that out. I don't know what it is. If it's the Luka trade, the De'Aaron Fox trade, it's whatever you want. You got to find something, and that's what you start with. Okay? Next segment, Pablo.
They're not just vultures, they're turkey vultures.
And they're huge.
Can we get Ron McGill on to talk about the vultures?
I mean, first meatloaf, then burgers, now vultures. I mean, what is turkey not going to come after?
See? We're done with that. Let's not come back to that. You did it. You can't do that any better. He nailed it, all right? So we're done with that, all right? You did it. Don't bring up the vultures any damn more.
Are they healthy vultures?
I can't tell if Chris is feeding me lines or just saying them now into the microphone for everybody. It's hard to distinguish.
Turkey vultures, that was all me. I can't have that.
If it's just in your ear. Dominique, in New Orleans, there's been a lot of talk. I do want to get a quick thing in while we still have Dominique. There's so much talk. Roger Goodell coming out and talking about how things aren't scripted, how the Chiefs aren't favored. The head of the NFL Referee Association released
Scott Green.
Scott Green.
I've interviewed Scott Green before.
He released a huge statement on episode 190 of PTFO about how referees only cover 2 games per year for a team, and that you'd have to have every referee involved in this sort of corruption, and they're the best in the business, etc. As a player, and we talk to players a lot about this, did you feel ever that there was any sort of refereeing that in any way went either for you or against you?
No. I never felt like there was any bias, and it's something that I don't know. I'm sure Amin has probably had this conversation with youth athletes. Also, is like, who cares? Like, it's out of your control. So, like, I've never given it enough thought to think that anyone's cheating. Of course, there were bad calls in my favor and bad calls against us in every game that you play, but it's something that's completely out of your control, and I assume that. Maybe it's not just an athlete thing, but like I kind of feel that way generally about the world around me. It's like, I don't know, shit ain't gonna work out.
Counterpoint, let's storm the Capitol.
Right? Like, are you saying it's a 50-50? Get back here, Domonique. Is that your point? It all evens out in the end? You just have to stick around?
No, it probably that's true, but it's honestly, it's like it's not in your control, and complaining about it isn't going to fix it. There are going to be issues, and maybe, honestly, like the experience and the life experience that I was kind of alluding to is like, no, it never evens out, but who gives a shit? Like, it's just the way it's going to be.
David, when it comes to referees, this is what I said. This is one of the things why I think Adam Silver isn't as strong as he needs to be. We've had over the last couple of years several instances of players and coaches insinuate that like the fix was in. And I said, look, man, you can call the refs stupid. You can call them blind. You can even say, hey, that ref doesn't like me. There's a personal vendetta. What we cannot ever allow in our sport is to have people question the integrity of the sport, meaning these guys are on the take, doing money signs, talking about they wanted them to win or whatever. That's the stuff that should not fly. The league has been very soft on that. And I think the NFL is the same thing. You need to kill that immediately, not only with your players and coaches, but also with your broadcast partners, right? Yeah. If you're Fox, if you're CBS, NBC, or ESPN, you want our rights? You can't be talking that craziness. Amazon too. You can't talk about the refs wanted them to win. You can say he got a superstar call. That's very different from there's a script or there's some sort of nefarious kind of thing at play.
But that distinction of there are superstar calls, and the NBA, by the way, is pretty, I would say, unique. But it's unique among sports where it's like every call has room for interpretation. When in the game is it happening? Who is committing it? Who is the person who is on the other side of it, right? Where on the court is it happening? All of this stuff factors into what makes a good call in basketball. And in the end, I mean, look, I guess across all sports, though, the reason why I think it's such a hard conversation is because there is truth. The league likes to think of refereeing broadly as a dial to turn, right? We're overcorrecting for some things. We're trying to make up for other things. That happens. In the NBA, we saw it, Amin. Scoring's way up.
Right.
What happened?
They interpreted the rules differently.
Mid-season, and the things changed. In the NFL, there are things that are called now, Domonique, that didn't used to be called that way because there was an actual change. The specific, though, favor trading of we are rewarding a superstar team as an entity, that's where I agree. We're leaving the realm of...
Oh, the NBA trade deadline, it never stops. Via Chris Haynes, Milwaukee Bucks are trading three-time All-Star Chris Middleton to the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma. How about that?
You stopped the show for that.
Poor Chris Middleton.
You say Bucks, I think Giannis.
Well, no, Giannis gets some help now. He gets Kuz.
Moves before moves.
The move before the move.
Love the move before the move.
Oh, this is a pre-move.
Yeah, that's breaking news, all right. Thank you, Domonique. Got us back on track.
I deserved that.
Folks, the playoff season is here, and the only thing better than the game day predictions are the foods that come with them. Introducing Tums Fantasy Foodball Pool, brought to you by Tums, America's #1 antacid brand, and DraftKings. Each week leading up to the big game, turn football into foodball by building your best game day plate for a shot at winning a share of $40,000 in cash prizes. Inspired by game day bites and tailgate treats, join the Tums Foodball action during this playoff season's most heartburn-inducing times. Visit DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball between January 6th and February 9th to enter for free and select your game day plate before the start of each playoff round. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball. When you feel the heat of the game, don't let the heartburn keep you on the sidelines. Try Tums Chewy Bites with a tasty outer shell and soft center for fast relief of heartburn, acid indigestion, and upset stomach. Check out Tums Gummy Bites, featuring a soft and easy-to-chew format for fast relief of occasional heartburn, acid indigestion, sour stomach, and upset stomach. Both available at Amazon, Target, and other major retailers nationwide. And for more heartburn relief fun, be sure to follow Tums at Tums Official on Instagram and TikTok.
Hey folks, it's Mike Ryan. It is big game week, and I've got just the thing to make your big game time a Miller time. From fireside conversations to football Sundays, winter means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Make these moments even better with Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer. A new year is a perfect time for friends, family, and great-tasting light beer. Tastes like Miller time. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers, so when you're hosting your ultimate game day party, why don't you bring out a beautiful silver platter of that amazing white can and know you will make everybody there happy, because Miller Lite is the original light beer since 1975 and still the very best one. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.